Hello everyone and welcome back to Sam's Beauty Nook. Now girl, it's been a hot minute since I have done any filming. And that was partly because, I had started running for Student Gov and then that didn't really work out for me because I had some dates that were messed up. Long stories everywhere. I had directed my attention away from my channel for a little while I sorted out my Student Gov things, but since I am no longer doing that, I want to focus my attention back on my channel, so I am trying to film constantly. I'm really excited about what I'm filming, and there was also a little time in there where there was a lull in, ideas that I wanted to film, and I was a little stuck for a minute. I tried filming some stuff that I wasn't really feeling, and shit got real. I was a little confused and I had writer's block, or I had makeup artist's block, and it was a struggle a couple of days for me. So luckily we are back on the horse and ready to film an exciting tutorial for you guys. As you've probably seen from the title of this video, we had kind of like a dance in middle school, and way back when in middle school, I say that like I've been in high school for years. Girl, I was in middle school like 3 months ago. Anyway, this dance happened. It was the first time that I really exposed my fellow classmen to any of the makeup that I could do before this channel, and I really wanted to create that look again because a lot of you really liked it at the social, and so today we're going to recreate my 8th grade social makeup look. Let's get right into it. Back then, I know that the first thing I did was to prime with this little e.l.f. makeup primer. Since then I've kind of upgraded my primer, and this is really oily and I don't like it. So I'm not going to use this primer. It looks pretty in the packaging, but back then when I bought this primer, I had no idea what to look for in a primer. So, luckily, I have my favorite Makeup Forever Paris Professional HD primer that I use in every single video. I might as well stop showing you guys. And I'm going to use that instead. Now this primer is great for moisturizing dry skin, holding the foundation. It's great for everything. And it dries really fast on your face. It's very smooth. Amazing. Just amazing. The next thing I did for my social look was take some of my Sephora foundation. Just the Sephora brand. I shook it up a little. I went ahead and put some on my hand. Oh my gosh. Look how messy. Can you guys see? Look how messy this got. I don't know what happened, but we're just gonna take a little wipe and wipe that off. Alright, now we're getting low on this Sephora stuff. I have used it for a while, so we're going to conserve it. Actually, we don't really need to. Let's just use as much as we want. I did use the same beauty blender, same brand of beauty blender that I use now, and basically I just went right in and at it. Let me tell you a little something about the social that I went to. We had, I remember, it was actually so much better than I expected it to be. When you're going to a middle school dance, you really don't expect much of that middle school dance to be good. And I was sorely mistaken because when I got there, they had an entire red carpet, which I lived for, and what was so much fun for me was to just be able to open up and show everyone, my makeup. And that's what I love most about doing makeup, is showing other people, and obviously doing it on myself, which I love, but one of the best experiences of my life was at that social, exposing myself to everyone. And I think everyone, well, there are obviously some people that like shied away. They were like, oh, what the hell is that? What in the hell? What in the hell is that? And they just shied away, but a lot of people were very interested and excited. I took pictures with parents. It was just so much fun. Lively atmospheres. We all had a lot of fun. And obviously our little get ready party beforehand with my closest tight-knit group of friends was absolutely phenomenal. And I just had really a lot of fun on that night, so that was great. Apparently that dollop was enough because I still have some more that I'm just gonna kind of rub into my hand. I am looking snatched. And next I would take my Kat Von D concealer, which I'm getting really low on now, like I have barely any left. And I do want to kind of talk on this as I'm doing my concealer today. As you guys might have noticed, I am talking a little more while I'm doing things, but there was tea between, or there still is tea between Jeffree Star and Kat Von D, and this is old tea, guys. I'm a huge Jeffree supporter, and this Kat Von D concealer came, I think, before I knew about the feud between Kat Von D and Jeffree Star, but not that that would have mattered anyway, because I don't buy people's brands, or diss people's brands because of feuds that they've had, or because of the person that they are, instead, unless it's like, you know, a racist person, or like a homophobic person, or something like that. But in general, if there are like feuds between an artist I like and artists I don't know, I'm not going to, you know, backlash or boycott that artist at all, just because I like someone else maybe better. That's not how I like to roll. I really ended up liking the Kat Von D concealer, so take that. Now, when I was going to the social, I really barely did my brows, but when I did it with the same one that I use now, the e.l.f. brow pencil. And y'all, I'm getting ready to get on the benefit train for brow stuff, because I have obviously heard that they are the best for brow stuff, as a lot of you know, but for now, I am still on the e.l.f. train. I really did not do much more than this kind of a thing to my brow when I was at the social. It's actually really hard for me not to do much on my brows because they need some help, but that's about all I did. Now, the next thing that I used at the social, I'm trying to remember if I had the Hoola bronzer yet. I don't think I did. I think I was still using the e.l.f., you know, the mirror that you always see me using for brows and stuff. This is actually a contour kit, and so yeah, wonderful. I would always take this shade, as you can see it's the most used, and I would take the big fat brush that I use now, and I would go in really light until I got some, and then I would go ahead and then I went ahead and snatched it at the social. Just like that, a very subtle snatch, not too much. And unfortunately at the social, I do not remember too well which highlight I used. I know it was this palette, but I'm not sure which of the shades inside the palette that I used. But I believe it was maybe Luna. I think it was probably Luna, because I was going for kind of a regular, not too out there look, but it ended up being a really out there look, so I think I did take Lyra, this bottom shade right here, and I did take it with the e.l.f. brush that I still use today, and I just dabbled it a little bit. Can I just say, okay, the e.l.f. brush versus the side that I just dabbled, it's pigmented, and then when I go, all I have to do is like 3 or 4 strokes. Oh my goodness, y'all. I really just love and admire this palette so much. Now for my eyes, I remember distinctly what I used. I used this Tarteist Pro To Go palette. Oh my gosh, it was one of the only little eyeshadow palettes that I had back then. And this is such a cute palette. We have 6 really cute shades. It's kind of a neutral palette except for this little Dominate one over here, which is like a purplish shade, which I loved. But I recall that I did like do a lot of looks before I actually went to the social. Like when I was getting ready, I did a lot of looks. I rubbed them off because they weren't the right look. I did another look, I rubbed it off because it wasn't the right one, and I finally just kind of said, you know what? I've practiced this look before. I'm just gonna try to do it right. So, what I did was I took this shade Stylin, right here, that brown shade. Oh my god, by the way, this palette smells like chocolate. It smells so good. So Dominate, I took taking Dominate right here. I took it with the same Eco Tools little teeny brush that I use now. Oh my god, the days. And I just went right for the crease on this.
And I pulled it up. Now this, keep in mind that this was a winged look for my social. I'm not sure if I told you guys that, but it was a winged look. A winged eyeshadow look, not a winged eyeliner look. I wasn't gonna be that out there.
Now, after I did do that, I took this shade Hype. It's like a gold shade down here, and I took it on my lid, and that's the only eyeshadow that I used. Now, these eyeshadows are so pigmented that I really didn't know what to do with them back 3 months ago, so I was okay, but they are very pigmented, just to let you know that. And I would take Hype and I would just go on my lid like this, and oh my gosh, it is such a beautiful color that it just kind of melted onto my eye, and I loved it. And then I would take Hype and then I would put it over my entire body. No, I'm just kidding, but I really do love this shade. And then I would go back in with this shade called Stylin, and I would re-outline that little wing that I made over Hype. And this is my first time ever being kind of serious with eyeshadows. It was near my first time ever being serious. It was my first time ever going out with anything like this on my face. I do recall using my little teeny inner corner brush that you guys all recognize today on my inner corners with that same glow kit that I used on my cheek to snatch it. And I would take Eclipse over here and I would go in on my inner corner. And back then, just like now, I loved popping my inner corner. It was my favorite thing to do. Now, one thing that has changed about back then to now is that I do not pop my brow bone. Back then, I did not pop my brow bone back then. I do pop it now, but it's kind of a recent thing that I have learned. Obviously, I had seen it, but I didn't really know what to do about it. After that, I would take my favorite Colossal Big Shot mascara, and I know I don't use mascara that much, but right now, I am currently out of lash glue, so I cannot apply lashes, and that is the one big difference that we're going to have, because my social look did have ginormous lashes on. But we're going to try to make do with this mascara. So, and I actually used this mascara the first time I tried out my social look. And I do remember my social look as being the first time I had ever worn lashes before, like ever.
My friend did apply them for me.
My final touch was to take the Sephora liquid lip in the shade Rosewood, I think this is, and apply that to my lips. And that was the final thing that I did for this look. So you guys, thank you so much for bearing with me and watching this video. If you liked this look, please like the video, comment below, and subscribe. You guys know my favorite things in the world are comments. I love reading them. And if you guys have any feedback, positive or negative, please let me know. My socials will be linked down below, so you can follow them if you would like. And I'll see you guys in the next one.